Confirmation has often been called a sacrament in search of a theology, that is to say, a sacrament that needs to be more clearly explained. Because you see, at the very beginning, confirmation was not a separate sacrament. It was part of the rite of baptism. One was washed and then immediately anointed. But what happened is this: in the Western or Latin Church, the decision was that if a bishop or deacon baptized someone, the bishop needed to come later to complete that baptism and seal it as he anointed the person. So the bishop would come and there would be the completion, because the bishop represented the apostles and he represented the church universal, a very important part of the claim and proclaim that are part of the sacrament of confirmation. Whereas in the Eastern Church, the thinking was, no, there is an integrity to what we've done right from the beginning, that baptism and confirmation are one rite of initiation. Why split them? So whether a person was baptized by a deacon, a priest, or a bishop, that person was immediately confirmed. In the West, one tradition; in the East, another. In the West, as we began to try to understand a new theology or explanation of this special sacrament that was emerging, obviously there was a focus on a sense of the Christian coming to maturity in one way or another. But maturity comes at different ages. Should the sacrament be received before First Eucharist or after First Eucharist? A good question, still not resolved today. And many of us got confirmed at an age of, say, 6th or 7th grade, and that our message was to be a soldier of Christ. Confirmation completes baptism. And so the thinking was, yes, we should bring a person to this sacrament as he or she is ready to make that passage to adulthood. In some cases, it was thought, well, perhaps that's around 13 or 14, the time of adolescence. Still others said, better to wait until high school or even out of high school into mature adulthood. In any case, the sacrament of confirmation celebrates the outpouring of the Holy Spirit for the sake of a mission. Now, we've been reflecting on sacraments by image of hands, and I'd like to emphasize that the extended hands of the bishop or minister of the sacrament remind us of praying for the invocation of the Holy Spirit, just as we do during the liturgy of the Mass. And a further sign that's used in the sacrament is the chrism, the sacred oil. Oil because Christ was the anointed one, and we as Christians are also anointed and made like Christ. So with sacred chrism, the bishop or minister of the sacrament marks the person and says, be sealed with the gift of the Holy Spirit. Sealed, in other words, complete the baptism. Cecilia. And a name is given to the person. Perhaps it's the baptismal name to renew the commitment and the relationship, or it might be a new name because the person in question has been studying a saint and wants to model his or her life on the basis of that person. In any event, the sacrament of confirmation is about proclaiming the good news of our faith to all the world, being ready to go out to the ends of the earth as did the apostles.